everybody. Welcome to Writing and Grammar. This week we only have 3 days, so I'm just going to quickly review things, review good sentences. We're still having a lot of kids not use capitals at the beginning of their sentences. Their sentences don't make any sense. And that is why I did the checklist with you that is on the main slide, on this slide deck. Because it is important that readers reread their writing and that they actually take time to ask themselves if their writing is good. All right. Remember notebook paper, we have our holes on the left. The front, we write from margin to margin. The large part is at the top. And remember that when you're writing your lowercase letters, they only go halfway up between the two blue lines. And it's very important that you get the writing down. You have normal spaces between your words. You don't write like a kindergartner, which is writing bigger than the blue lines. You can fit about 6 or 8 words on a line, or even more sometimes, depending on how you write. All right. So let's get to reviewing. All right. One of the things that we've learned in the last 5 weeks is that a noun is a person, animal, place, or thing in a sentence. A person is a teacher, a mother, a waiter. It is anything that is a person that is alive. It is not capitalized, all right, in the sentence if it's found within a sentence. These are common nouns. An animal could be a turtle, fish, moose. A place could be a park, a kitchen, a yard. And a thing is like soup, sticker, and baseball. It is very important to be able to tell the difference between nouns and verbs, adjectives, adverbs, pronouns, proper nouns, because they're what makes a sentence good. All right. An adjective is what describes the nouns. It's what adds flavor to your sentences. Without adjectives, the sentence is boring. It doesn't make sense oftentimes to people because they can't see what you're talking about. So it is your color, how many, your size, your 5 senses, your touch, your smell, your sight, your hearing. All right. And it is what you have to do is identify nouns and then ask yourself, well, can I put an adjective before them? There's sometimes where you don't want to use adjectives before them. There are adjectives that go before nouns that make no sense. So color words are like red, blue, and black. How many is 3, 10, 1,000. Size is tiny, huge, small. And the 5 senses has to do with like delicious, soft, putrid. Putrid is disgusting. All right. Then you have your verb in the sentence, and your verb is the action. It tells what the noun is doing. It can be walk, walks, walking, walked. And what a verb does is it changes the time of the sentence. So if you are walking, you're doing it right now. If you add the ed to a verb, you're doing it in the past. Sing, sing, singing, sung. That's called an irregular verb where it changes form and it doesn't have the ed on it. Dance, dances, dancing, danced. Play, plays, playing, played. And it's so important that when you look at a sentence and somebody goes, what's the nouns in the sentence? You can pick them all out. You can look and see what the verb is doing. Is it doing it right now? Is it doing it in the past? So those are the big 3, your noun, your adjective, and your verb that we've studied so far. Now, in a sentence, some of you are still not doing the capital letter. And it's like, I cannot tell you enough that every sentence starts with a capital letter. We still have about 10 of you that do not know that you have to stop your sentence. You have to. It can't run on and on. It has to be one thought. The spooky ghost hovered above the haunted house. All right. So then what you do is you go, what is my, let's get a bigger pen. What is my subject? the spooky ghost. That is who I'm talking about. And see, I go through these sentences with you, and then when you go to write, you just throw it out on paper and call it good. You have to ask yourself, do I have all of these parts? Because if not, you don't have good sentences. All right, the next thing I look at is the verb. What is the ghost doing? They're hovering. All right, they hovered, which means past tense. I underline all of this. This is my predicate. Predicate. It contains and starts with the verb and then goes through the rest of the sentence, the how, the why, the who, the when, the where. All right, now what I do is I ask myself one last question. Should I add any adjectives? Here's a noun. Here's a noun. Those are nouns. Ghosts, they're a creature that's alive or was alive. A house is a thing or a place. All right. Then I go, all right, what kind of ghosts are they? They're spooky ghosts. There's an adjective. What kind of house is it? It's a haunted house. That's an adjective. That's a wonderful sentence. I'm done. Then I read it out loud to somebody. The spooky ghost hovered above the haunted house. Beautiful. Please do all these parts. Please take the time to do the checklist. Please reread your writing and see if it makes sense, because if not, you don't have good sentences. They must have nouns. They must have a verb. They need adjectives to paint pictures in people's mind. All right. And that would be it today. So do a good job looking at the pictures and writing your 2 sentences that have to do with our book that we heard in reading today. And I will talk to you tomorrow.